Well, I hope the rain's over. It's been a very traumatic 24 hours. There's been so much rain, and you can see up there in the sky there's still a lot of cloud, but the sun is out and there's blue sky as well. So, and we've all survived. There has been really bad flooding though, seriously, here in the west of Ireland, and apparently up in the Inishowen Peninsula in Donegal there's been some bridges swept away and people have been made homeless. Electricity in some parts of the northwest is off. So, before I go any further, because once I start making a video and I start talking and I start thinking and chatting and relaying things, I very often forget about stuff that I meant to say. So let me just, this is all very much one-handed here. Okay, just move along here. Now, I got a book today, came in the post. No name on the book. I think it was posted from Scotland. Thank you very much, whoever has sent it. Looks very interesting and I look forward to reading it. I also got a beautiful card here. You can just see. And that's from Lisa Barnwell Shirts in Michigan. And then I've got a little query as well. Oh, by the way, I got a message from... Oh, I'm sorry if I can't remember your name. I was sent 2 packets of seeds. I was also sent some seeds from Canada. I know that I have mentioned all this up on Facebook, and I thought you may have picked up the message there. Anyway, I mention it again. Thank you very much. Little query here. I just found this on my desk. I think I may have dealt with it. It's from Vivian. Vivian, you ordered A Cottage in 3 Acres, the book, and you also ordered a copy of the map. I think you sent me a check. So can I just double check with you that you received that? If you have, can you just send a little note on Facebook or Twitter or a little email just to say that you've got that, and then I can put this card up on the wall and mark it as done. I hope that's everything. Probably not. Anyway, I wasn't able to get out into the garden yesterday much at all, except for yesterday morning when I made the video. You'll be able to see over here on the steps. See all the gravel that's been washed down? Mind you, the steps are looking very clean. But the rain was quite frightening. Very heavy, very, very heavy. Fortunately, because of all the gravel here, the huge pond that was sitting here very quickly disappeared once the rain stopped. I would urge and encourage anyone who is thinking about setting up any kind of a home, a homestead, a permaculture dwelling, if you live in a climate like Ireland, or in, actually, never mind Ireland, heavy rain is falling all over the world, and it seems to come, I think Dwayne Custer, you described it as a rain burst? No. Oh, I can't, I'm thinking of cloud burst. A rain bomb. It's really important, I think, to have good drainage all the way around your house. So, for the money that I spent having the gravel put in around the house, it really has paid dividends. So lovely just to be outside now. Just looking at that buddleia. Just how well it's grown. It seems to have taken on such a beautiful shape just by the side of the barn. It's sort of creating like a green wall and then a canopy. Right, I'll just update you now on the pumpkins around the cottages. So you can see there's some beautiful pumpkins coming on here. That's one. That's another. And another. And I've got to try to remember just to move this camera a little bit more slowly, because it makes for a better video, I think. Now, a little message about the seeds. For the past 7 or 8 years, I have collected seed every year here at Bealtaine Cottage, and I've put the seeds up on a seed for sale site on the website. It's one of the pages of the menu at the top of the website. I have not collected seed this year for posting out, okay? And I won't be collecting any more seed for posting out. So the seed site, the seeds for sale, is now finished. Reasons for that? Well, I just don't have the time. That's the truth. I just don't have the time. Between writing and keeping the gardens and making sure that I continue to serve my duties as a parent, it's impossible. It really is impossible to keep the seed site going. It did involve a lot of work, a lot of quite intensive work, and it also involved then packaging and posting out, and quite a few times seeds did not arrive at their destinations because of customs in operation in particular countries. So I often had to post seeds out twice. So the seed site is now gone, alright. Bealtaine Cottage no longer sells seeds. Also, garden visits. I cannot accommodate garden visits any longer because of the time. I just don't have the time. I mean, I've had to be quite severe with myself and with my organisation here in terms of making decisions about what I was going to spend time on. Mother Earth takes precedence, and second to that, writing about Mother Earth, which is now a huge passion of mine. Putting out a video every day. You may have noticed it's gone from 1 a week to 1 every day or thereabouts. Writing the blog on the website, keeping that going. Facebook and Twitter. I mean, I love my social media because I just think it's so important to make the contact with you all, and to be there as a constant rather than just a sometimes. And I'll show you, for example, some of the work that I did the day before yesterday. I've cleared all the nettles here from around the compost heap. I've done a chop and drop all the way up alongside the tunnel. This is the east side of the tunnel. I've trimmed back what is now a lovely little hedge. All those were cuttings. And you can see the hedge further up at the top. In fact, I'm just going to walk up there because I want to show you what's growing there. All these chop and drop cuttings will all biodegrade down and provide a nice kind of semi-solid base for the path. So here Hebe's in there. The willows come on beautifully. And I've got some sort of candy pink fuchsia. And then I've got some classic fuchsia. And you can see the hedge at the end is almost like a wall. So, Jack's in there. Come on, Jack. Little passageways here and there. So, this is up at the top end of the tunnel. Now this is a view you rarely get to see. This is from the top end of the tunnel looking down. And you can see all my beautiful grapes. Lots and lots of grapes. And the bay tree. And there's lots of little bees and wasps and insects. And keeping both doors open on the tunnel, I think there was quite a lot of little birds in here yesterday, just sheltering from that very heavy rain. And then I continued the cut back and the chop and drop up towards the stone circle. In fact, we'll just go up that way. You can see the water is still flowing there in the ditch. The birds are singing today. I think they're just so relieved that all that heavy, heavy rain is finished. It was quite brutal, really. I can't imagine how difficult it would have been being out yesterday and last night in all that rain, being a little bird. But I hope that Bealtaine Cottage has afforded a lot of shelter for them, because certainly that has been my main passion, has been planting and planting and planting. And I was talking with someone on, I think it was on Facebook the other day, who mentioned that we should only be planting indigenous species. Well, I pointed out, and I'm going to point out again here, indigenous species actually means anything, now we're talking about trees really, anything that was here before the last great ice age. Now you can work out how long ago that was. Now, when you take into consideration a few very important factors. One, we now have a totally different climate from that which succeeded the last great ice age. We have a country which is poverty-stricken in terms of trees. It's a very, very sad fact that this beautiful country is denuded of trees. We also have a situation where most of the mountains in Ireland have been stripped of trees. Now my simple solution, and I know it comes up for both praise and ridicule, and that bothers me not, but my simple solution, because I try to take everything down to a simple statement of understanding and action. Plant like your life depends upon it, because it does. We do not have the luxury of time to sit around thinking about what kind of a tree we should plant. If we have any land at all, we just need to get it planted. Mother Earth cares not what you plant. Mother Earth cares about having big, empty, vacuous spaces. She wants to create abundance. And we need to help her with that. We need to plant. And I'm just going to hold the camera up. And you can see Kilronan Mountain. And you can see the tops of many, many trees I've planted. Many of them are good old indigenous traditional trees, like that beautiful oak tree. You can just see it peeping up there. But there's a beautiful purple beech, which is not indigenous. And here beside the stone circle is a wonderfully thriving sweet chestnut. So, you know, I just think we need to plant. And if Mother Earth accepts it, and if the birds are happy, and if the pollinators are happy, and if the mammals are happy, then we should be happy with that. I don't think there's anything I've planted here that has been offensive to any of the wildlife, because there's 3 acres which was bereft of wildlife 13 years ago is now thriving with wildlife. You can just hear the ground squelching under my feet here. And you know, it's not enough just to have a piece of lawn and let it grow wild. That's doing nothing. That's just you doing nothing. Better to take your piece of lawn and plant it. Because otherwise all you have is a very small window of seasonal opportunity for a few pollinators. You haven't provided habitat for anything else. So we need to stop talking and start planting. The reality of Bealtaine Cottage is that there's very little space left anywhere in which to plant. And there's my beautiful oak tree. Well, one of the beautiful oak trees that I've planted. And you know, oak trees grow very fast. There's a lot of misconception out there, and a lot of you know, anecdotal evidence which is just parodied around all the time, that, oh, oak trees grow slow. They do not. They absolutely do not. They grow very fast, and they certainly grow very fast on this poor land. So I expect that oak trees will grow very fast on better land than this. No. Do you know, I think I'll just go down into the fairy wood just for a short little walk. Chuck's having a good run around. I want to have a look at the water. The water in the spring well. Excuse me. I've been trying to stay off sugar recently, and the past few days have been a little bit difficult because sadly there's a huge amount of sugar put into our food. You know, processed food. And even the stuff that you don't even consider as processed. You know, like just sauces. Like a tomato sauce or a mayonnaise. So, I'm just having to be a bit careful here because of the wet. I don't want to go skidding. Gosh, this is like a rainforest down here. It's quite squelchy, quite wet. I'll walk down a bit anyway. Just hear the water in the spring well as we get near it. It's quite a vigorous flow there, as one would expect. I need to get a bit more gravel down on some of these paths. That's an expense to buy in gravel, but it's something I will probably do around about my birthday time in late October. Oop. Now, look at this. Massive water coming down there, and from the little swale this way. You can see it just flows underneath the stone there. And it curves around that way. Look at all the sand down there. That's all the sand that's been washed out of the soil further up. But every so often you can see where I put stones, and that creates little sand banks, and I can go in then and dig that sand out. It's very accessible. It's very fine sand. So it's really useful for any kind of building projects inside the cottage. If I'm making up a sand and cement for using in the cottage, I would come down here and collect sand from the little stream beds. Look at the sand there. There's a lovely bank of sand there. So I think I'll call this video Bealtaine after the flood. Sounds biblical. Isn't that lovely to hear the sound of running water? So this little stream doesn't really get gushing like this until about midway through the winter. But obviously, I'm going to have to jump now, and hopefully I don't slip. Whoop. Right. Yeah. You just see the water moving around there and going down underneath that big stepping stone. And all the way down. Look at it rushing down that way. Amazing. So we'll follow it all round. Look around this way and see where it's coming in through the silt pond. Look at that. flowing down just enough to be able to drop whatever silt is left in that water. It prevents silt getting into the pond further down. Well, it prevents most of it. Follow the sun down here. This is where it slows a little now. When it comes out of the silt pond, you can see there, look. And it's coming down. And the stream bed isn't completely straight, because nothing has been designed or dug or made in straight lines here. Try wherever possible to follow what would be nature's course, and sometimes just to allow the water to carve out its own little course, as it will do if it's that big. Did a lot of carving out last night. I can just see now where part of the bank has been eroded, but it still looks quite natural. There's been no destructive force within that water. Certainly not down at this end. Let's have a look here. Wow, really is massive flow of water. That's going into the pond, which I will have to get into next month and clear much of the pondweed from. It's sort of an annual event, and it's not so much clearing the pondweed as harvesting the pondweed, because all that is pulled up and pulled out and put around plants and trees within the bog garden, so it brings a lot of fertility into what was a very acid soil here in the bog garden. I'll have to get down here and do a little bit more pruning. I thought I'd done much of it, but it's grown again. Again, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk and go stepping on stones, which are... Whoop! I live in fear of skidding. There we go, the water's coming out nicely from the end of the pond and making its way down through the little stream. You can see it flowing off down that way. So we'll go out onto the driveway and just follow its course. Able to hear it down here. Won't be able to see much of it because of all the growth. So it's still flowing around there. It's making its way down. And down towards the end, there's quite a thunderous sound of water as it flows off into a little stream. It then takes it down into the River Fearish